Hi, it is 4:48 in the morning, and I am wide awake, which is not really that unusual for me these days. But I decided to get up and film this video. The only other one awake right now is the dog, so you might hear him panting in the background. But I've been meaning to film myself talking for the past few months now, ever since I started, I guess, my current journey that I'm on. I guess you could call it that. But ever since I started dealing with some of the health issues that I'm currently dealing with, and I've been thinking about off and on doing maybe a blog or creating videos or something like that. I've been interested in making videos in the past, but just my interest kind of fizzled. But in this case, I really just keep getting the inspiration to, I guess, just get stuff out there, and just with everything that is going on, hopefully, like, other people might benefit from what I'm experiencing and might get some help from it. And if not, at the very least, I was able to get stuff out into the world, instead of just like keeping it all inside. And also just to kind of create some videos just to sort of document what is and isn't going on in my experience through the past few months and going forward from here. I also thought it would be a great way just to document like everything that's going on, and it's so hard to remember everything that's happened and that is happening and keep track of everything. So in another way, I thought this would be a really good way to keep track of everything that's been happening and will happen from here on out. So I figured I would just do maybe like 10-minute videos, just really short, just talk for 10 minutes about maybe one topic or one thing that's going on, or a question, or anything that anyone might be curious about, especially like my friends and family in my life might be curious about what's going on with me right now. And this might be a good way to kind of let everybody know without having to go into too much detail or like share more than what I'm ready to share, or anything like that. So in this video, I just kind of wanted to talk about why I'm talking to a video camera right now. And so I guess that's what I'm just going to do for the next few minutes. I have about 6 minutes left out of 10 minutes. So I guess I'll start at the beginning, sort of, about what is going on right now and why I'm awake at for something in the morning and am talking to my phone in the living room while my boyfriend's asleep. And basically about I guess about 3 months ago started, so it's July 2018 right now, and in the end of March 2018, I started having some health issues. What really got me into the doctor was I had vision problems in my right eye, and to sort of cut to the chase, the doctors don't really know what's wrong with me yet. I am having some problems, and they're still working on what exactly is wrong with me, and you'll hear more about that. But that's kind of the underlying theme of this whole experience has been, over the past 3 to 4 months. There have been things wrong with me, and they still can't really figure out what is wrong. They have been able to help some of the symptoms and stuff, but still no diagnosis or anything like that. So that's kind of what like the scary part is right away. But it's not anything too scary. It's more just like dealing with the everyday stuff. So I thought I'd go over stuff like that. So basically, my main health problem has to do with my brain, and things that are going on in my brain. And so I will start again with the beginning about, it was in March. In March, I had vision problems in my right eye. And it seemed like it was fairly sudden, like overnight. I woke up and there was a dark blind spot sort of in my right eye. Sort of like when you look at the sun. I mean, you're not supposed to look at the sun, but we know what it looks like. Or like flash photography, and that flash, that dark area stays there. And usually it goes away if you look at the sun or there's flash photography. But this didn't go away. It was a spot, like kind of right here, right in the middle of my right eye. And it did not go away. It just stayed there. But it looked a lot like when you look at something bright. And, well, that really worried me, as it would anyone. And so then that's what got me to go to the eye doctor. And I knew that I knew not to go just like to like the LensCrafters eye doctor, although LensCrafters eye doctors are real doctors and they can help you, which is where I ended up going, because when I called like an eye specialist, they were like, you need to get into anywhere right away to make sure that you don't have a detached retina. So that was like the immediate, gosh, we're already at 8 minutes. We're going to go a little over 10 minutes this time, I guess, but that's okay. That was the immediate thing, was just that you need to get in to make sure you don't have a detached retina. So I got in. They, I think, confirmed I did not have a detached retina, but they said, you need to get seen further immediately. So that's when I go to the kind of next level of eye doctor, and they look and they are pretty concerned. But they thought at the time it was something called a pseudotumor, that can be caused by birth control. They thought it was caused by my Mirena IUD, that eye doctor said that it's actually not that uncommon, and it's fairly common to treat. It's like a pseudotumor is like not a tumor. There's nothing there, but it's kind of like acting like one. So he made me get an MRI just to confirm that there wasn't one. And so when they got the MRI, if it was a pseudo tumor, there would be nothing. Well, on the MRI, there was something. They didn't know what, but there was something. So since there was something, it was not a pseudo tumor. So that's not what it ended up being. So throw that diagnosis out. Throw the first diagnosis out. Then they immediately call me back, and the eye doctor's like immediately telling me that I might have MS. And I'm like, what? Like, what? MS? Like, how do you know this just from this one MRI? And I'm like freaking out on the phone with this eye doctor, which this is going to be its own video, but which begins a tug of war of diagnoses between so many countless doctors between now and then, but that's for another video. We will talk about that. But anyways, at the time, like, I'd never had any experience like this, so if a doctor says, like, oh, you have MS, you're kind of like, I do? You know, you're paying attention, you're like, what? So I'm like freaking out. And at that point, he got me involved with the hospital here at the University of Louisville Hospital, which is a great hospital, leading cutting edge hospital here in Louisville. And that's sort of where everything began, is from there. So from there was lots more testing, and I can go, I mean, to go into all the tests and everything that I've had since then would take an hour. But basically they still don't know what's wrong with me. That's the bottom line, is they still don't know what's wrong with me. So some of the other symptoms that I was having, that I didn't realize that I was having. Number one, I sort of realized this one. I was really slow to, it was like my brain was on a lower gear. It wasn't right. It was stuck in first gear, sort of. I couldn't think of words that I knew that I knew. Does that make sense? Very, very forgetful, especially of short-term memory things. People would tell me things and I would immediately forget. And I knew that wasn't right. I knew that wasn't me. And I kept telling my boyfriend, like, I keep forgetting things. And he's like, oh, you're just getting old. I'm like, I'm not getting old. I'm only 29. And he's like 8 years older. So I'm like, I'm not getting old. Okay, maybe you are. I'm not. Hi, buddy. This is my doggy. You might hear him panting. Sorry. I'm like, maybe you're getting old. I'm not getting old yet. You know, this is not me. I'm not, like I can just tell that that's not what you just have a feeling. Like, I just had a feeling that's not what it, like, this isn't that. But before my eye problem happened, dropper. Okay, sorry. But before my eye problem happened, like, I was more apt to just kind of blow things off because, you know, I was at work, I was, stressed out at work, and I was more apt to just kind of blame things on stress. So, I think I just sort of blew it off on stress, that I was forgetting things that I knew that I shouldn't be forgetting. And, the big thing that was happening that I really should not have ignored, but, you know, hindsight is 20/20, is that, if I were to be like crouched down low to the ground and then stand up quickly, I would get really lightheaded and feel like I was going to pass out. And you would think that that would have gotten me into a doctor. But it didn't. Again, like, my job was really stressful. And around the same time, I had a really bad migraine headache. And I did go to the immediate care center, and he basically said the same thing. Like, you're just under a lot of stress and you just need to de-stress. And so when I had the migraine headache in March is when I decided to quit my job, because I was like, you know what, I have been at my job for about 3 years, and I was getting to the point where I felt like I had kind of done everything that I'd come to do in that position, and ready to kind of move on from there. And I wanted to jump into some of my own business ideas and things and use everything that I had learned there to like jump off into my own thing. And then, I had this migraine happen, and the doctor said it was stress and all this stuff. I put in my 2 weeks. I put in like 4 weeks, but I put in my notice, and I put in my notice, I think the end of, I don't know. I put in my notice so that my last day would be like the first day of April, I think. But anyways, I had like a month knowing that I was going to quit my job. And it was the day, it was my last day. I kid you not. It was my last day that I had to go to the eye specialist to talk about the blind spot in my eye. I kid you. And that was actually the day that it was either that day or the next day is when he called me back and let me know, there's you have to go to the hospital and get an MRI. And it was like, what? Like, I'm supposed to be doing other things. And it was really actually bizarre, but also very, I don't know, poetic that it happened on the last day. I mean, there was no in between of your job is over and your health journey has begun. It was done and beginning. It was very symmetrical. Go figure. So, gosh, we're almost at 20 minutes now. God, this is going to be really long. Anyways. So, basically, after I quit my job, had like really coming to terms with, we'll talk about that in another video, but basically what happened is, my job was quit. My job was done. I quit my job. It's over. And, I didn't even really have like a minute to even take a breath or think about what to do, because at this point, I'd just been told that, I got my MRI, my first MRI back, and that something is on it. Like something. What is something? What is something? The word they use, when something, the word the doctors use when something is on your brain and they don't know what it is lesion. So, they say you have a lesion on your brain, and lesion sounds really scary, but I think I've learned at this point, it's kind of like just this catch-all term for anything that's on your brain that's not supposed to be there, and they don't know what it is yet. So anytime I have to say what's wrong, I say that there's a lesion on my brain. To this day, I still just know that there's a lesion on my brain. So yeah, and they called me to tell me that, and they don't know what it is. And that was, so it's July. So it was April, May, June. So 3 months. That was 3 months ago. And they still don't know what it is. The other symptoms that I was getting that happened in the weeks. No, I'm trying to think. No. Yeah, actually right when I was having the eye vision problems is when I started having really, really bad headaches. Headaches behind my eye, all through here. Headaches in the back of my head, especially headaches if the back of my head was against anything, a pillow, anything, hurt. Like just for my head to have contact with something for longer than a second hurt and give me a headache. And I would have to wrap towels or blankets around my neck so that I could kind of support my head without the weight having to be on the back of it against my pillow. And that's how I would sleep. And so that the headaches were really bad. That was another symptom that I was having for a while. I'm trying to think of any other symptoms I was having. And I'll mention them if I remember. It's good to write down the symptoms because you're going to be asked the same questions over and over and over and over by 12 million different doctors. But yeah, I'm trying to think. Nope. If I think of any other symptoms, I'll let you know. But so basically that's why I'm up at, well, that doesn't really explain why I'm up right now. But so I don't have the headaches right now. So even though they don't know what's wrong with me, they have been able to manage my symptoms at this point. It took them a while to manage the symptoms. They really wanted to get so many tests done. So many tests. And we'll talk about that too. This is just going to end up being a half-hour video. So many tests. At this point, I don't have the headaches. They have eliminated that. A lot of the memory stuff has gotten way better. I'm now on, and this comes to why I'm awake at 4 a.m. I'm now on a really high dose of steroids, like corticosteroids, not like bulk up steroids, like Arnold steroids. No, these steroids help, heal and fight, the inflammation or whatever is in, my brain that's causing all of this. So the steroids are helping right now, and that's what's helping all of the symptoms that I was talking about. But I'm on a lot of steroids, and they turn you into like an Energizer bunny, and they make you wake up at random times in the middle of the night. Well, first of all, I have to take them every 6 hours. I have to wake up twice in the middle of the night. Well, sometimes I don't really get a whole lot of sleep on them, but I'm lucky if I get 5 hours is good. Sometimes I get 4, sometimes I get less. Sometimes, I don't know, it is what it is, and you're not tired. Like, you wake up and you're like a bunny and I want to go clean the house. I've been cleaning the house for the past month. Oh my goodness. It's non-stop. And it's like, I'm kind of not complaining because oh yay, I'm getting the house clean. But also is it okay that I'm not sleeping as much as I know I should be sleeping? Like, I don't feel bad. I actually feel really good since they put me on the steroids. I feel more myself. But it has definitely been an adjustment. The side effects to the steroids, I'm on dexamethasone, where the side effects are a full-time job. Handling the side effects is a full-time job. I structure my entire day around handling the side effects of the dexamethasone. But it is so worth it to be able to feel like myself again at all since this whole thing started. So I'm like so grateful. I've really been enjoying it, and I'm not complaining. It's actually made me eat a whole lot healthier. It makes me eat all the time. I thought I ate a lot before. I'm like a machine now. I'm like fuel in, fuel out, fuel in, fuel out. I eat and I work, and then I eat and I work, and that is pretty much it. But being at home now, and I still don't have my job. I do other things, try to do other things on the side here and there, but I spend all day mostly just making sure that everything goes okay with my medication and what I eat, and basically just taking a step back right now because of everything that's going on. Okay, we have 4 minutes left till half an hour, so let's just make this half an hour. Some of the doctors have made diagnoses. They've all taken them back. Some of them like to put guesses out there. One doctor I actually really appreciated kind of just was like, I'm not going to tell you any more guesses. I don't want you to guess any more diagnoses. I think you've been put through enough as far as what it could and couldn't be. I've been told that it could be anything from the worst, which is like cancer, down to something, at this point, nothing's going to be minor. It's in my brain. But I've been told it could be MS. Been told I was straight up told that I had lymphoma, and then told that I did not have lymphoma, and then told that it still could be some kind of cancer, and then most recently told that it was most likely not some kind of cancer. So that's good. A lot of the doctors keep leaning towards MS, but it's this weird kind of MS that's really rare called tumefactive MS. Which tumefactive has that same word, it's like kind of like fake tumor, but instead of like there being nothing there and it's like a fake tumor, there's something there and it's acting like a tumor, I guess. I don't know. What else have they put out there? They've put out, I don't know, a lot of weird things. But, at this point, none of the doctors can agree. And they kind of like all, see, I can't think of the word I'm trying to think of. Go against each other, like contradict. They all kind of contradict each other. And at this point, they know that whatever I have is something really weird. They've said weird throughout the entire process, and kind of they kind of like treat me like I'm like a specimen or like some weird like experiment or something. Not like that, but like they're kind of like oddly intrigued by my case, so it's kind of weird. Sometimes they talk about it like, oh, it's so weird, oh, you know, and you're like, okay, like, can we just figure it out, please? No, thank you. And so, at this point, I definitely know, and they've told me many times that it's something very weird and possibly rare and definitely puzzling. It's stumping them. They have sent, I had a biopsy done of my brain where they took a tiny little needle and took a tiny little piece of my brain out. We can talk about that more later too. And sent it for testing. They sent it to the National Institute of Health. I know that they've sent some of my stuff to the Mayo Clinic. At one point they talked about me going to Vanderbilt. I just didn't, at that point I didn't, that was a while back, and they gave me a choice, and I wanted to stay in home in Louisville, so I stayed here and didn't go to Vanderbilt in Tennessee. But they're doing it. They're doing a really good job at where I'm going at U of L, and there's so many people. There's so many doctors and people. There's so many people who are working on my case. It's amazing. I'll go to a new doctor, or I'll go to a new person. They'll be like, oh yeah, we talked about you in the meeting the other day. And I'm just like, wow, you know, you guys are on this. Like, sometimes it feels like they aren't on it, because you'll go weeks and you won't hear anything. And you're like, did you guys forget about me? I still don't know what's wrong with me. And they're like, no, we did not forget about you. We're still working on you. So that's pretty much what I've been going through for the past few months. There's a whole lot more, but oh my gosh, I'm at 32 minutes. And who wants to watch any more? So, it's a lot. There's still a lot. Overall, so far, it's been very grounding. I actually think overall it's been a very positive experience so far. I've really enjoyed slowing down. Sorry, I ran out of file space. But I was saying just how much I've really enjoyed slowing down. And I've really enjoyed getting off that hamster wheel. Just taking a breath, taking a step back. So, I think I'm going to end this video right now at 33 minutes. And I will, in the future, I'll do maybe more like 10-minute videos. But the first one was going to have to be long to explain what's going on. So, that felt good. I'm glad we did this. I'll see you guys next time.